Hello, hi, I'm Elena. I am the creator on this YouTube, Always Discover. I'm also the owner of always-discover.com, which is a blog about my journeys around the world. Currently, I'm in Colombia, and I wanted to talk about how I stay disciplined while living this sort of creative life. So if you're not familiar with my blog or what Always Discover means to me, basically it means always discover new things, always learn new things, always be open to new opportunities and new ways of living and doing things. Pretty much just never getting stuck in one way. But that said, I think habits are extremely important, especially when we're talking about staying disciplined while you're living a creative life. And living a creative life doesn't necessarily mean that you're an artist or you are creating anything in particular. You could just be trying to pursue your passions in an unorthodox way or pursue your dreams when that's not the conventional way to do it. But here I want to talk about, I guess, specifically to those people who are trying to make their way in the creative world. I wrote a blog and it's called Creative Living, 8 Ways to Stay Disciplined. That blog post has the first 4, and this video has the next 4. Before we dive into it, into the 5 through 8 ways to stay disciplined, the first way to stay disciplined that I listed is find a community. If you want to learn more about that, read my blog. The blog link is in the description below. Second way is make time for consumption. Third way is have specific goals, make a schedule, and stick to it. And fourth way is don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself a break. Which leads us into the 5th way. Whatever you do it for you. So I think this one makes it easier to abide by all of the rest, honestly. I seek out community not because of some shallow falsehood or need for networking that society puts on everything, but because these are truly the freaky humans that I want to connect with. I say that with lots of love. I'm reading and I'm consuming things not because I want to imitate them to gain success or because I want money, awe, and affection. No, because I truly enjoy the words, I truly enjoy the piece or the message or the exhibition or whatever it is. I enjoy it, I like it. I make a schedule and I stick to it, not because I'm trying to reach some contest or publisher's deadline, but because it feels so damn good to set out to do something and complete it. I make myself proud when I can actually see real progress on a project that I'm working on. Because I'm doing all of this stemming from me, it makes it so much easier to not take things so seriously. It's more fun, I'm more creative, and my curiosity just flourishes. Sure, a lot of times I'll still have the people who might be reading my blog or watching my videos in the back of my mind. But not because, again, not because I want money or affection or anything, it's because I genuinely want to connect. Even though you may be thinking about your potential audience, it can still stem from an authentic place within you. Make sure your motivation is you. Make sure it is not anything external. Make sure it's because you truly love it. You truly enjoy it. 6th way I stay disciplined is rest. I know it sounds kind of contrary, but this one is so important, especially for the Americans that are watching this. I think our society puts a lot of guilt on taking rest. I think that's why there's a lot of people who don't use their vacation in a year. But rest is so important. We are human and we need it. We need time to reset. We need time to recover. We need time to step away from whatever it is that we're doing most of the time. Spend a weekend out in the wilderness camping, doing nothing absolutely related to your creative work or whatever it is that you're pursuing. For example, I'm more focused on writing and things that are pretty sedentary activities. It's vital for me to have blocks of time within a day, or even full weekends where I'm just playing, where I seek out activities, different people just playing in the park, or maybe I go fly a kite, which is something I really like to do here in Colombia. There's a huge kite culture, which is awesome. Things that have nothing to do with sitting at my desk, writing, or reading. I just step away. When I am able to come back, I'm completely refreshed. The 7th way that I stay disciplined living my creative life is cross-training. This kind of relates to making time for consumption, but it's a little bit different because your consumption, you may be, like I'm a poet and I consider those times for consumption. Yeah, I may be consuming other types of media or type of art or whatever, but that's definitely a time where I consume other types of poetry and other poets' work. But this one is when I'm feeling completely in a rut and I can't seem to create anything at all that I'm pleased with when I'm writing. I just stop. I switch it up. Maybe I just spend the next few days taking photographs or drawing or making videos, for example, or editing and things like that. I just take a break. Again, it's rest, but I'm still exercising my creativity. A great example I can think of, a friend of mine who is an absolutely brilliant writer, amazing writer. I want her to write a book. I love the way she writes. She just was bogged down by the words. She just was uninspired and felt icky about everything she had been writing. So she's actually been on like a solid 3-year hiatus from writing. She picked up a different curiosity of hers, which was drawing, and she draws these incredibly detailed images and cuts them out and makes these stunning collages. She also started practicing photography. It's curious because she posts her things on Instagram, and little by little the captions beneath her photos have become livelier and rich. Basically, when you're cross-training, you are still practicing your creativity, just in a different way. And I firmly believe that as long as you're exercising that muscle, because creativity is a muscle, it's going to have a positive effect on your main discipline. That leads to the 8th and final way that I stay disciplined while living my creative life, and that is put yourself out there. I know it's probably the hardest thing to do as an artist and the scariest. Why? Because it means being vulnerable. It means showing portions of you that you're not entirely sure about. It means potentially failing in front of others, and that's magical. I know that sounds really cheesy, but truly it is magical. Whether you're an entrepreneur or a DJ, people are going to doubt you. People are going to question your path. Most people will do this out of love. Some people will do it out of jealousy, and other people will do it just out of complete non-understanding. And you gotta let them. That's fine. That's fine. You're living a different life than them, and maybe what's conventional. This kind of comes back full circle to finding a community and why that's so important. But this is a little bit different because your community, let's say, is your nest. And there you are, you're able to lay your eggs in your nest, and you know they'll be well received generally, and protected and incubated a little bit. But when you're putting yourself out there, you're essentially shoving your egg out of your nest, hoping that it cracks open and flies, or that somebody catches it. But I'd say 9.5 times out of 10, it's going to fall and smash on the ground, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. For example, my own experience. I went to an open mic. It was an open mic more geared towards music, but there was another poet who read, so I figured, why not? I guess I'll read something. I have poems in Spanish, so at least my audience will understand what I'm saying. So I read 2 poems in Spanish and 1 in English. It was a short poem. Completely fell flat. Didn't connect at all. At least if it felt that way. I don't think it was received well. And that sucked. I spent like the rest of the night wondering, oh, okay, well maybe it was weird because I was speaking in like a Spanish accent and I'm in Colombia. Maybe some of the references I made just didn't make any sense. What? I'm human and it sucked. I tried to figure out why I didn't connect with the people, but that's life. Sometimes it doesn't happen the way you want it to. That was an interesting experience, juxtaposed with the experience I had a few days prior where I went to a spoken word event. I think I really connected with some people in the audience. I think they really appreciated the words I was saying and the poems that I read. So that was kind of like a refreshing, and it was very interesting having that experience, and then right after that having this, what I deemed to be somewhat of a failure right after that. The point I'm trying to make is there's no better feeling than connecting with somebody, and the only way you can do that is to put yourself out there. I like to think of it as this little metaphor, right? So your creative passion or your creative pursuit or whatever is this little fire you have. You have your kindling, you keep it going. Sometimes you can throw a log of inspiration on there and it flares up. You know, you're blowing into it to keep the oxygen flowing. That's your hard work. You have your body to shield from all the rain of self-doubt that you have. Maybe you have members of your community throwing on some pine cones for a quick burn and wonderful fragrance. Then, all of a sudden, someone comes along with a stick and a marshmallow, and they stick it over your fire. And you're like, what? What? My fire has a purpose outside of myself? What? Someone's using what I've built? What I've created? Maybe you have an opportunity to sit around that fire with that human and discuss why they are sitting by your fire. Bam, it's like lighter fluid on everything. And it makes this whole thing feel even more worth it. It makes it feel bigger than just your own selfish pursuit and desires. Why are we here anyway, right? To connect. And so the only way you can do that is to really put yourself out there. So that concludes my 8 ways to stay disciplined while living a creative life. I hope you found at least one of these tips valuable. If you did, let me know which one particularly resonated with you. And if you have maybe some other advice to add to the list, let me know too. You can comment below, or you can go on to the blog always-discover.com, where you can find the first 4 ways that I stay disciplined, or you can head over to facebook.com/Elena Discovers. Comment on the post there as well. I'd love to hear what you think. If you want more of this type of content, or if you're interested in seeing my daily vlogs in Colombia, subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, stay curious, don't give up, always discover. And thanks for watching.